Depoimento, truta.
It was dusk. A feeling lingered in the air. Malevolent, perhaps. Uncertain, as life itself.
Abridged version, please.
Right. Fine. I heard someone heading down the stairs, just outside my room. The footsteps were calm, orderly, so I thought nothing of it. Shortly afterward, I heard a second set of footsteps, going the same way. This time I could tell just from the sound that something was wrong. So I looked out into the hallway.
Quem você viu?
I got a glimpse of Poppy disappearing down the staircase to the floor below. Didn't know what to make of it, to be honest. I thought perhaps she'd had a disagreement with Fitz, as I know those two are close. So I looked into his room, just in case, but it was empty, as was the garden beyond his window. Back in the hallway, I bumped into a very concerned-looking Penelope. She was heading to the fellow tower to find Professor Pointer. So I
Tem muita gente, todos podem ser
went to
suspeitos.
Flora's room. Poor Freya was laying on the floor. Fiona, Poppy, Fitz, and Pointer were there already. Flora too, of course. Soon enough, everyone else made their excuses and left.
Não faz o menor sentido.
Not I. I stayed. Flora needed me.
Família suspeita da porra. Todo mundo é suspeito, mano. Todo mundo é bandido. Vocês sabem que se vocês não me falar tudo que vocês sabem, é todo mundo preso por ser cúmplice, né, caralho? Bando de burro.
Dearest Flora, a remarkable woman. Yes, been married over 20 years now.
You two still get on?
Ele é casado com ela?
What a question.
She hasn't gone quiet on you.
It's true she has an independent streak. She's had it her whole life. She's the youngest of 3. Always something of a lone wolf, you know? Just the way she is.
Ah, então eles são
Lone wolf
casados.
is putting it lightly. She doesn't seem to want to talk to anyone.
She just likes time to herself, away from the company of other humans.
Other humans?
Well, yes, other people, you know.
Certo, e a Fifi? Você gosta dela, mano? Você gosta dela? Você gostaria que ela ficasse sem se machucar, né, mano? Gente, na moral, eu não daria certo se eu fosse bandido, se eu fosse detetive, não, mano. Porque eu ia resolver meus problemas tudo desse jeito, na ameaça, foda-se.
My daughter Fiona, our little burgeoning genius. You've met her?
We did.
A última vez que você
She's
viu ela,
going
ela tinha
by
2
Fifi
pernas?
these days.
Tô brincando, mas ainda tá com 2
I
pernas.
asked her
Ainda,
some
hein?
weeks ago, what's wrong with your real name? She told me, get this, she wanted a name with an even number of syllables. She makes up the strangest things when she's under
Ela queria com
pressure.
número par, então ela gosta de número par.
I happen to know the real reason she prefers Fifi over
E qual é o
Fiona.
real motivo?
Oh, yeah?
It's what Freya called her.
Então ela gosta de número par. Hã? E o que isso aqui significa? Ha!
I'm as confused as you are.
Filha da puta. E essa foto
My
aqui?
daughter Fiona and her best friend. They grow up so fast.
Do you know why it's ripped like that?
Ah, yes. I didn't even notice. No idea.
Ninguém me ajuda, mano. E aquela estátua lá na frente lá?
Ugly, isn't it, as far as statues go? Years of wind and rain have not been kind to
É,
her.
tem uns bagulho
You know what
esquisito
it
lá,
is?
inclusive.
The creature, I mean.
It's connected to the Remington family history in some way.
É um calango?
But I can't recall.
Mano, esse cara não me ajuda em nada, mano.
Does Flora normally keep something in here?
She must do, but I admit I've never managed to work out what.
Why not just ask her?
I feel like if somebody keeps something locked away in a ceramic egg, It's because they don't want to be asked about it.
Mas se fuder, mano, me ajuda. Me fala uma informação. Bosta. Mano, por que eu não meto um apavoro nesses caras tudo? Falou pra você, arrombado. Deixa eu ver aqui a... Deixa eu ver isso aqui.
A little hand-painted statue.
How can you tell it's hand-painted?
Well, the paints are right there on the desk. Also, I mean, no offense, but you can just tell.
Falou tudo. Miniatura pintada. Um entalhe em madeira de um homem com uma espada. A miniatura foi pintada à mão, mas a tinta não foi aplicada com habilidade. Amarela, azul, preta e branca foram as tintas encontradas por perto.
Nice. A real treasure chest.
How do you know there's treasure in there?
Why else would it be locked? Plus, there's a treasure map hanging directly above it.
Ok.
What's the deal with that painting on the front?
Not sure. We should check that treasure map too.
Use o mapa do tesouro para descobrir a coordenação no cabeado do cabedu. Nossa! Nossa, eu nunca falei uma coisa tão atrapalhada na minha vida. Mano, use o mapa do tesouro para descobrir a combinação para o cadeado do baú. Nossa, velho, eu nunca falei uma coisa tão esquisita na minha vida. Cabeado do cabedu, caralho, mano. Que? Fácil. Ó, tem um X, tem um dragão, tem uma pedra e tem um coqueiro. É exatamente aqui, ó. A resposta é I3. I3 e tá olhando pro... Calma. Pro norte. Tá olhando pro norte. Então N. Vai lá.
Nothing.
Como não?
Check the treasure map for clues. And what about that painting on the chest itself?
O coqueiro tá mais longe? Pode ser que o coqueiro esteja longe. Mano, o dragão tá bem perto. Então, ó, pode ser aqui. Pode ser I4, será?
Still locked.
I think there's a connection, like there are different versions.
Eu já entendi, Tá, tem a pedra. Mano, o coqueiro pode estar mais longe, tá ligado? Pode ser que não seja pro norte também. Aqui... É foda. Aqui não vai ser. Tem algum barco? Não tem. Ó. Olhando pra todas as direções, o dragão tem que estar na esquerda. Então, ó, olhando pra cima ele tá na minha esquerda, olhando pra cá ele não tá, olhando pra cá não tá, olhando pra cá não tá. Olhando pra cá não tá, olhando pra cá não tá, nem pra cá nem pra cá. Pra cá, tem um na minha esquerda. Será que é H6O?
That's done it.
Chupa!
Neat. What was in the box?
O que tinha na caixa?
More wooden models. These are a little
Miniaturas de
different to the one on the
madeira.
desk.
Interessante, cara. Uma miniatura que lembra uma criança com cabelos verdes. Uma miniatura que lembra uma mulher com cabelos grisalhos. Uma miniatura que lembra um pássaro vermelho e branco. Uma miniatura que lembra um homem de ombros largos. As miniaturas de madeira foram pintadas à mão. A tinta não foi aplicada com sucesso. Um pote de tinta vermelha e um pincel estão jogados por perto. O pincel possui um pouco de tinta vermelha ressecada. Igual convenientemente no corpo do defunto. Me poupe.
What is it?
He's an imp.
What does he do?
Well, if you tell too many lies, he appears at the end of your bed in the middle of the night.
Oh.
Caralho. Isso aqui é o quê?
A pencil drawing of a mountain on a moonlit...
Mood.
E essa máscara?
An old wooden...
Probably cursed.
E esse
It's a magic
lâmpada?
lamp. Can we summon the genie?
If we get really stuck, sure.
The entire room is made of wood.
Oh, it's not just made of wood. I think it's the actual hull of a ship.
É um casco de um navio. Oi, credo aí. Essas
The
gavetas aqui.
entire room is made
Oh,
of
it's not
wood.
just... It's the actual hull.
Tá. Tá foda, hein? Ó, o que eu tenho? Félix. Ele é casado com a Flora e ele tem a Fifi como filha. Deixa eu perguntar pra ele das pessoas pra completar esses bagulho aí. Deixa eu perguntar pra ele da Freya.
Uncommonly skilled as an artist, but Freya was so much more than her talent.
Eles nunca disseram isso, Lango. O quê? Nunca disseram o quê?
Painting, you know? It taught me what she knew about wood carving too. Tremendous patience. She was ever so good with dear Flora.
Freya and Flora were close?
Oh yes, especially after
Freya e Flora?
recently.
O que aconteceu recentemente? Para de omitir informação, seu careca, filha da puta!
My father,
Desculpa.
Lord Fellow, was her grandfather. Technically, that makes her a fellow. Let's just say there was some discussion over whether she ought to carry the name at all. There's a family tree in the grand hall. You should
No
take a
hall
look
de
at it.
entrada,
What about her inheritance?
uma árvore
Freya's
genealógica.
parents died when she was around 3 years old. She came to live here shortly
Ah,
after.
então a Freya é a filha
Nobody
adotiva?
left her a thing?
I'm afraid not. She had no formal claim over anything at Tangle Tower.
Tá. Então tem uma árvore ginecológica na porta. O Félix, ele não tem relação sanguínea com a Freya. Ele saiu daqui, veio pra cá e tateitei. Tem algo suspeito sobre o Félix? Ele é muito suspeito, mano. Ele é muito suspeito. Flora, casada com o Félix. A filha é a Fifi. E a Freya, onde é que entra nessa história? Ah, a Fifi era amiga próxima e a Flora era amiga. Tá bom. Ok, deixa eu dar uma explorada, mano. Deixa eu ir lá no hall de entrada ver a árvore ginecológica. Aqui, ó.
What is that?
I think it's a family tree.
Árvore ginecológica. Puta que pariu. A Fifi tá aqui, ó.
Fiona Fellow. We met her. She's one of the suspects.
Ok, ela é filha do Félix e é filha da Flora.
Flora Remington.
We met her. She's one of the suspects. Felix Fellow.
We met him. He's one of the
Um dos
suspects.
suspeitos. E a Emily. E o Félix é irmão da Flint Fellow.
Flint Fellow.
A purebred fellow. Married a randomer, though.
Do you think he still lives here?
E Fitzfellow, que é primo da Fifi.
Fitzfellow. Half Everstone.
Do you think he still lives here?
Penélope, Pop. Ó a Pop aí, ó.
Poppy Pointer.
She's half Remington and half Pointer.
Do you think she still lives here?
Tá, ok. Eu vou ter que dar uma olhada na galera. Arvrinha ginecológica, bisbilhoteiro profissional. Por que eu sou bisbilhoteiro profissional? Isso é bom ou ruim? Certo. Mano, eu vou vir... Aqui tá trancado?
Locked.
Ah, vou nos lugares que estão abertos primeiro, então. Eu vou vir aqui. Que lugar é esse? Praça de Pedra. Quem é esse filho da puta que é o Lord Farquaad?
There's a metal plaque on the bench.
Is there a message engraved on it?
I think there was at one point. But someone scratched it off.
Puta, mas no microscópio dá pra ver, não dá não?
Is that a clock?
If it is, it's a clock with 4 faces.
Examinar de perto, eu quero. Oh
I'm
my
guessing
god.
it doesn't tell the time.
So what does it do?
Rode os botões até que as 4 mãos estejam na posição correta. Qual é a posição correta? Como eu vou saber? Mano, eu tô vendo uns inícios de pau aqui, é foda. Ah, só tem 4 lados? São números. 3, 9, 2... Ou não são números, eu tô me moscando. Como eu vou saber a posição correta?
So moving any of the hands turns the adjacent hands in the opposite direction. It's like cogs on a machine.
Eu não sei o que eu tenho que fazer. São números? Então, eu não sei qual número que é esse aqui. Eu vejo o 2. Esse aqui é qual? Eu não sei. E eu não sei qual número, quais... De qual jeito eu tenho que colocar. Como que eu vou saber?
Reset the puzzle.
Não vou saber, tem que conversar com o cara. Deixa eu fazer isso depois. Boa tarde. Quem é você?
Whoa, nice cape.
You're not fellows or pointers. I'm sure I shall immediately regret asking. But who are you, and what is your business here?
Tô resolvendo o BO que deu ali, não ficou
This is
sabendo não.
my
Morreu
sidekick,
alguém!
Private detective, Grimoire.
Really? You're a detective? This
Yes,
is a joke.
I
It's
am.
not a good one.
I am detective.
Who are you, anyway?
Private Detective Hawkshaw.
Ah, não. Concorrente?
Hawkshaw's a cooler name than Grimoire. Maybe I'll become her sidekick.
You're not on the Freya fellow case, too, are you?
That is classified information between myself and my client. Clearly, this is something which eludes you. But a real detective refrains from handing out informations to persons unknown.
Eu sou detetive também, decência.
Now, if you would, I have work to do.
Você mesmo.
It's not in my interest to discuss personal details.
Ah, não?
Even if you're one of the suspects in a murder?
Very well. Let us make a small exception. Ask.
Oh, what are you doing here?
I'm on a case at the behest of my client.
How long have you been at Tangle Tower?
133 hours. 5.5 days.
5 dias e meio, não resolveu
I am not
ainda?
at liberty to answer that. Now, I shall permit you one more question.
What crime are you...
How'd you get that scar? It's cool.
Não! Você gastou a
I
pergunta!
think so.
O que você me diz sobre essa carta?
Conveniently left anonymous. It's useless until you can prove to whom it concerns. Can you do that?
No?
No.
O que você tem a me dizer sobre o que você estava fazendo ontem à noite?
As it happens, I completed an examination of Flora's room on the morning before the murder. I've been investigating every single room at Tangle Tower. Hers was one of the last on my list.
Did you find anything unusual?
Nothing but a thin layer of dust and an atmosphere of somber melancholy.
Uma fina camada de
Was Flora in
poeira?
there at the time?
She spent the duration of my search staring up at the sky.
Esquisita a mulher, né?
Window.
Porra.
Didn't say a word. Although I'm told this is the expected behavior.
What did you do after that?
I spent the early evening searching the library. It took longer than it should have. Fiona leaves that room in a permanent state of disarray.
Fiona was in the library too?
I expected her to make an appearance, but she did not.
And you stayed in the library the rest of the day?
Not quite.
Onde é a biblioteca? Eu não fui, não, né? Onde você estava ontem à noite?
My examination of the library was unexpectedly disrupted. Sounds of running, wailing, shouting from several floors above. I vacated the library, but before I could begin my ascent, Professor Pointer appeared. He emerged from the Pointer staircase, crossed the hall, and begun up the fellow staircase.
Suspeito.
Our eyes met. He was breathless. Something had caused him great
Assustou o
alarm. He
professor.
told me to stay out of the way. I consented. I decided to return to my office in the stone square. As I was passing through the front door, Penelope called out from
O
behind.
que ela gritou, minha
She was
filha?
clutching the banister of the Pointer staircase with an apprehensive manner. She
Mano,
wished
todo
to
mundo é
know
muito
where
suspeito
Professor
nesse
Pointer had
jogo.
gone. I told her what had transpired.
Mas essa
Then,
moça não tá tão
She
suspeita.
too crossed the hall and disappeared up the fellow staircase. More so than at any moment prior, I felt like quite an intruder in the house. I took my leave, out towards the stone square. The grounds were silent. There were no signs of human life. Even the greenhouse was without its typical inhabitant. I noted that
Que habitante
he, too,
típico?
was being entangled in whatever was transpiring in Fellow Tower. An unremarkable hour passed before the gardener finally made his appearance. He spoke to me of what had occurred. His report was as clumsy and cumbersome as the man giving it.
Did he seem upset?
He was rattled, that much was clear, but sorrowful, mournful.
Porra, mano,
I cannot
fudeu.
say.
Parece que esse crime tá cada vez mais longe de ser resolvido, brada. Guardian of Sky valeu pelos 3 meses. Sombra 18 valeu pelos 4 meses. Jerry pegou meu queijo. Vou fazê-lo Andar na prancha, Jerry pegou meu queijo.
Have you deciphered the meaning of those 4 symbols on the harp?
We're working on it.
That's a no then.
E esse retrato pintado?
Makes quite an impression, doesn't it? Although I can't imagine why she painted Flora wielding a knife.
You didn't see a knife anywhere in Flora's room, did you?
I did not. I conclude whatever stabbed Freya must have been brought into the room from outside.
Ok.
Unless, of course, it was the painting itself.
Surely you don't believe in that kind of
Mano,
thing.
como assim, velho? A pintura,
Detective's
mano.
job is to examine
Esses detetives são
every
loucos.
avenue of thinking.
Mano, e o que você tem a me dizer sobre essa pintura?
Admit, it's powerful. Freya was a talented young woman.
Someone even liked it enough to take a photo of it.
Now, we don't know why they took the photograph, do we? Perhaps they just wanted it for reference.
Uhum. Mano, e o que eu vou colocar aqui, cara?
There's a metal
Is
plaque.
there a
I
message?
bet someone scratched it.
It's a big stone die.
Biggest one I've ever seen too. A pointless little stone
I don't
tower.
know. Might
Wanna
be.
play hide and seek?
I could be persuaded.
Deixa eu vir pra cá, tem como?
Looks like it might be about to fall apart. Grimoire, you go first.
Tá. Aqui é a estufa, né? Estufa. Nossa, olha ele ali, que medo da porra, mano. Vai se fuder.
That's a handsome beetle. Looks like he might have magic powers. Hanging baskets.
To
There's
you, maybe.
You're only 2 inches taller than me.
2 inches makes all the difference.
Tem essa
This
pera
one's
aqui,
a little
ó.
odd.
Okay, that is definitely not edible.
It looks like a gemstone, don't you think?
É uma pedra, vaso de fruta. Uma fruta envasada com casca dura. Quero ensinar vocês como matar a bola arrochada na mesa dura. Lembrando, uma pedra preciosa. A terra no vaso possui uma incomum cor azul. Oxi. Isso aqui.
A little chart of. Actually, I have no idea what it's about.
Deixa eu ver. Pi. 3 invertido. Bolas de um pau. Nozinho de K-pop de Eu Te Amo. Olho de gato na vertical. S, letra da serpente e X da Xuxa. Não tenho a menor ideia do que isso significa.
Kinda reminds me of a periodic table.
É uma boa.
Kinda reminds me of a periodic table.
Tabela
What do you make of
periódica é uma boa.
Not a whole lot.
Boa tarde, meu guerreiro.
Sally, don't move. We're being watched.
Yeah, I see him. He's a little too big to hide in the bushes.
Por que ele não conversa com nós?
Is anyone going to say anything? Or shall we just
Nossa, ele é um
stand around staring at each
constrangedor,
other?
né, mano?
Right, sorry. Sorry.
That's better. I'm Sally. And the guy hiding behind me is Detective Grimoire. Who are you?
Fitzfellow, the gardener.
Mm-hmm. And why are you so tall?
Jogou basquete. Esse cara tá suspeito também, mano. Esse cara está suspeito. O que você tem a me dizer sobre esta carta?
Odd.
Sally,
Não.
Yeah, I see him. He's a little too... Or shall we just...
Sorry.
That's better. I'm Sally. Who are you?
Fitzfellow. I
you work here as the gardener.
don't get paid to do it. It's just my
Por que você não é
area of
pago?
interest.
What's the deal with the plants? They're all kinda weird.
Right. Did you see the lake?
That giant green and purple lake surrounding the entire house? Yeah, I clocked it.
The color is just a byproduct.
Of what? Poison?
É o que
It's
vem da
not
folha,
poisonous.
da
Not
flor,
to
da bagulha?
What's this got to do with the plants?
The water controls all life, just like anywhere else on the planet. Clouds form,
Então
rain
a
falls,
água ficou
the water
esquisita,
grows to
as
plants,
plantas ficou também.
animals
Faz
eat the
sentido.
plants.
Faz
Anything
sentido.
you've perceived as an irregularity is simply a result of this hydrological cycle.
Could you say that again, but like condense it as if you were talking to a slightly stupid person?
O jogo tá me chamando de burro?
Our lake water causes the unpredictable alteration of DNA. Sometimes.
Alteration? Like mutation?
That'd be the official term. For us, it's normal. Just nature.
And you're the local expert on all this stuff?
No. I'm just the gardener.
Mano, esse cara tá fedendo, ele sabe demais, hein? Você sabe demais, seu espertinho. Tô de olho no você, hein,
I was in my
vagabundo.
greenhouse, watering and weeding.
Sounds exciting.
Was anyone else around?
Not at first. Penelope came in a little later. She likes looking at the flowers, I think.
Did you speak to each other?
A little, not too much. We both left the greenhouse in the early afternoon. I went
Todo
up
mundo
to my
fede pro
room.
Calango.
Then I
Lógico,
came
ninguém
back outside to weed the
colabora
lawn
comigo.
gardens. Didn't see anyone else. After that, I went up to the garden outside my room.
And?
Let me guess. Watering and weeding.
Right.
Did anything happen to you yesterday, Fitz?
I was up in the rooftop garden. It was quiet.
Ah,
And then, it wasn't. I can't describe it. Could have been a scream, but it didn't sound human.
nem fudendo que tem monstro nessa porra.
We thought it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there.
We?
Poppy was with me. Did I not mention that? Flora's room was locked.
Isso daí é importante, ô
She
seu animal.
usually locks it from the inside. I knocked on the door and shouted. Nobody responded. We became concerned.
You kicked the door down?
I did. Poppy and I went in. Freya was right there, laying on her back.
E a Flora?
Flora was there too, but I barely noticed her at first. Poppy left the room for a while. When she came back, she had her father with her, and Fifi too. Penelope arrived shortly after that, with Felix in tow. I thought that was odd. You don't normally see the two of them together.
Quem? A
Felix
Penélope e o
took charge.
Félix?
There was nothing else I could do to help. I wanted to go back to my room, but I realized nobody had told Detective Hawkshaw anything. I found
Mano,
her
mas a
pacing
detetive
back and forth
Hawkshaw
around
tava aí
Stone
antes do
Square.
assassinato?
When I approached her, she snapped at me. I think she was annoyed about being made to wait outside so long. But when I told her about Freya, she fell silent.
Oxi! Tá fedendo isso daí. Porra, vou ter que falar com ele sobre todo mundo, mano. Isso vai dar um trem. E o que é essa lupinha aqui, velho?
She questioned me,
About what?
my work, the plants, bit of everything.
Did she search the greenhouse?
No, she didn't.
You sure? Maybe she did it when you weren't in there.
No, she hasn't touched it.
How can you tell?
Trust me. I can tell.
Ô, louco. E o que você acha da Flora, mano? Suspeita, né? É.
I like Flora. I hope she's all right.
Do you think she had anything to do with the murder?
There's no way. She wouldn't willingly cause any additional suffering for anyone.
Certo. Mano, pera aí que o Zig tá miando aqui. Acho que ele quer comer. Já volto, hein? Voltei. Mano, tá difícil, hein? Vou perguntar pra... Eu não sei nem o que perguntar pra esse cara.
She was always kind to me. She'd come into the greenhouse when I was working, sometimes by herself, sometimes with Poppy.
Ou essa
I think
Pop
they
tá
were
sendo
just
muito
bored
citada. Eu
at
tenho que
first.
falar com ela, hein? Ela é
Eventually,
safada,
they started
será?
asking questions.
About what?
Poppy wanted to learn about flowers. Freya, she used to ask me about the insects.
Ah, a Freya
Insects.
gostava de inseto. Eu vi
One
lá
of
o
my
terrário
jobs
dele
is
lá.
to protect
Dela lá.
plants from things that might eat them. Freya brought me this little glass box, leaves and twigs inside.
Viveiro.
She'd say, put all the troublemakers in there. Every day I'd put a handful of beetles and other things in the box. Then she'd come along and take it away.
Eu vi isso daí,
I
hein?
didn't really understand her,
Eu vi esse
but she
viveiro
was
aí, hein? Só não vi
always
nenhum
kind.
calango lá dentro. Tá. Black Beatles. She flying free, no need to need. Friends are when the friend you can to see to me. When now when you find to me, to me.
Fitz's room is unlocked. It's up in the fellow tower.
This could be interesting.
Vamos lá no quarto dele. Ah, agora tá destrancado. Nossa, ele é minimalista.
That poor plant.
Looks pretty healthy to me.
Healthy, but sad. I think it would rather be outside.
É, mano, tadinha. Ela fica aqui no ambiente interno.
It's a little handmade card. Someone's drawn a heart on the front. Inside it says, to Fitz, from PP.
Penélope do pau. Como é que é? Pipi? PP? Penélope.
An empty glass and an empty plate.
Looking at it is making me want to cry.
Why?
I don't know.
Uma tristeza, né, cuzão? E essa tranca aqui?
It's locked, but it leads outside.
I thought we were halfway up a tower.
We are.
What's that thing by the handle?
Que é isso na maçaneta? Deixa eu ver. Desiste para abrir a tampa, então mexa as peças para os lugares corretos. Como eu vou saber? Como eu vou saber quais são os lugares corretos?
Nothing.
The
Still,
tiles have all got that
As
same
peças têm os
sun
mesmos
symbol on
símbolos
them.
de sol nelas.
those moon symbols in the slots.
Esses
Are they
símbolos de lua nas ranhuras são
Maybe they're
conectados?
connected, but also not connected.
Como é que é?
Nope. It's not.
Maybe the information we need isn't here.
So where is it?
Somewhere else.
Tá, não vou conseguir fazer isso. Eu não vou conseguir fazer isso. Eu acho. Eu não tenho as informações necessárias.
Let's come back once we know what to do.
É, infelizmente eu não sei o que fazer com isso. Tem uma caixa aqui embaixo, hein?
Not hidden very well, is it?
Doesn't need to be. It's locked. It's a
Putz.
combination lock.
Precisa de uma combinação. Tá, deixa eu montar o quebra-cabeças. Aqui. E aqui. Não entendi. Nesse pedaço de papel... Tem uma gota, cara. A única coisa que eu consigo ver é uma gota. Ah, não, mas tá errado. Pera, não, tá errado isso. Calma. Pera. Porque aqui conecta, ó, essa linha aqui. Faz a gota aqui, mas o resto não tá conectado. Tipo essa daqui, ó. Essa daqui não conectou. Ah. Mas como que eu vou saber a ordem? É pela cor? Não tem como eu saber pela cor. Ó, tem um desse. Tem alguma coisa aqui que fala a ordem deles? Daí tem a gota, daí tem... Tá, daí tem a gota. Aí, calma. Deve ter uma outra maneira aqui de conectar. Esse aqui já foi, né? Acabou de ir. Daí tem esse aqui. E aí tem...
Nothing.
Maybe if you move the paper around, you'll find.
Ok, esse daqui.
That's done it.
Caralho, como que eu consegui fazer na ordem certa? Se bem que não deve ter ordem certa, né? Deve ser qualquer um.
Neat.
Não sei também. Foda-se.
Anything in there?
Yeah, it's wrapped in a cloth. Hold on.
Tá embrulhado em um tecido. Vai
That's
lá.
kind of ominous.
Pazinha decorada. Uma pazinha de jardinagem de metal com um padrão decorativo. Possui um padrão decorativo entalhado e letras de cada lado e um coração. PPFF. Penélope Charmosa e Fritz Farreld. E Fitz... Como é que é o nome dele mesmo? Fitz... Não lembro. Ok, uma pazinha então, que a Penélope deu para o Fitz. Vou perguntar pra ele do que se trata dessa porra, hein? Do que se trata essa porra? Posso ir embora?
There's someone outside the window.
Something outside the window. It's probably just a rock.
You sure?
Ok, tô indo embora. Vou voltar lá nele lá e vou perguntar. E aí, cuzão, qual é que é dessa pedaço aqui de trem aqui, ó, que eu achei lá no seu quarto? Quem é PP? Quem é PP? Quem é PP?
Yours, Fitz?
Yeah,
Do you use it?
I keep all my tools in the greenhouse.
That wasn't what she asked.
Então você não sabe de nada, hã?
Tools. Used by a gardener for gardening.
Ok, então você se livrou dessa, arrombado. Deixa eu ir pra outro lugar. Ué, mano.
Locked.
There must be some way to get it open.
Ah, não, eu tenho que fazer o negócio pra abrir, né? Tem uns insetos aqui, tem uns bagulho.
Books about birds.
The shelves are about half.
Oh, so you're the shelves are half empty
You
kind
knew
of
this
person.
already.
Books about
Well,
insects.
theoretically, there's not a single book on that shelf.
Huh.
Ah, tem algumas prateleiras que estão
Books
vazias.
about space.
They're relatively untouched. Is that a snow?
Of sorts.
Um globo! Que
Hey,
isso?
look at that. It's a model of Tangle Tower. There's the lake and those weird
Penélope
mountains.
Pintuda é o nome dela?
What are you thinking?
That would make an amazing souvenir.
É um globo de... É um globo.
Hey, look It's a model. What are you thinking?
That would make an amazing.
É só isso que é essa porra?
Hey, look It's a model. What are you thinking?
That would make an amazing.
I'm not sure. Soil samples?
E aqui, tem o quê?
It's an illustrated book.
It's been left open. Looks like somebody was
Or it was left open for us to find.
ever so slightly unnerving.
O que é isso aqui? Livro sobre pássaros. O borra-tinta é um pássaro bastante inteligente com um longo tempo de vida, mesmo para místidos aviários. Outros pássaros costumam ser agressivos com ele, e o borra-tinta vive a maior parte do tempo sozinho. Possui hábitos alimentares bem particulares, normalmente comendo apenas sementes de tantum amica. O que é tantum amica? Ah, é isso daqui? Mano, você conhece... Mano, eu vou perguntar pro cara lá, o jardineiro, se ele conhece tantum amica. Porque tem um passarinho nessa história. Não tem? Aqui, ó. Aqui, ó. Tem um passarinho aqui, tio. Vou lá perguntar pro jardineiro. Cusão, você tem já tantum amica aí?
Penelope knows about birds. You should
Ah,
ask her
Penélope
instead.
que entende de
Actually,
passarinhos.
I wanted to ask you about something. There's a plant mentioned on this page, see? Do you have any? In the greenhouse?
No, I don't grow that anymore. I've tried in the past. It's incredibly difficult, even for me. I could never get it to live more than a couple of weeks.
Caraca, ela não gostou de conversar com o jardineiro. Ai, mano, mas tava perguntando sobre planta. Vou vir aqui. Boa tarde, inferno de bosta. Salão de música. Ó, muito louco aí, ó. Mais.
Are they paper lanterns?
Whatever they are, I like them. It's like a little parade of floating spirits.
Tem algum bagulho. Olha esse negócio quebrado
Well,
aqui.
whatever it is, it's playing a little trumpet.
Well, it is the music room. He's got to practice.
What's with all the broken glass?
Estátua com corneta, como seu cu e sua buceta. Uma estátua brilhante com uma estranha criatura segurando uma enorme corneta. Há uma grande rachadura por todo lado da corneta da estátua. Igual aquele... É o filho da puta, o calango! Dentro da corneta e no chão em volta jazem diversos fragmentos de vidro quebrado. É o calango, hein? É o calango.
Who plays the violin, I wonder?
It's pretty dusty, so I'm guessing nobody.
Sheet music. It's handwritten.
That's a lot of notes. Looks pretty difficult.
Probably why they're on the floor.
E essas velas?
1, 25 dry, 4 lit candles.
Yeah.
Am I the only one seeing the problem?
Qual é o problema? Não entendi. Nada, né? Deixa eu falar com ela. Boa tarde. Tá tocando um pianinho aí?
Are you a ghost?
Sally! That's rude!
Unless she is a ghost.
It may come as a disappointment, but I am alive.
Ah,
That makes you a suspect, I'm afraid.
É, suspeita, suspeita.
My name is Poppy.
Ah, é
I'm a
ela.
pointer. And a pianist.
Pop Pointer, você
Well, I need
namora
to ask you a
o
few
cara
questions
triste
about
lá,
Freya.
né?
I know.
Porque você também é triste.
Hey, you're pretty good.
All in the wrist. And 13 years of dedicated practice.
Ok. Você mesma.
I'm just me. There's nothing to know.
how are you related to the other pointers?
My father is Percival Pointer. The professor spends most of his time hidden away in his tower. Barely speaks to anyone these days. Especially not the fellows.
Do you get on with the fellows?
2 of them. Fifi and Freya are my closest
E o
friends.
Fitz?
We all turned 19 last year.
Do people ever leave Tangle?
E o Fitz, você namora
I don't
ele?
mean to be rude.
Ou vocês
It's
terminaram?
just, if you're 19,
You don't have to answer that, Poppy.
It's a fair question. I'd like to move away. Definitely. Fifi, Freya, and I would often talk about it, argue about it. Freya wanted to leave, but Fifi... Things are more complicated for her.
What about now?
After what happened, I really don't want to stay here much longer. 3.5 hours of piano practice.
Aham.
Same as I
3
like
horas
them.
e meia de prática de
Same as
piano?
always.
3.5.
Assim que você acorda?
Does that not
Você
hurt
tá
your
doido aí?
hands?
1 horinha não tá bom o suficiente, não? E tem que ser depois que você acorda? Não pode ter
I
depois do
prefer to
almoço?
practice in my room. When I make mistakes, I like to make them in private.
what did you do after that?
I was supposed to meet Fifi in the library, but I totally forgot. When I finally got down there, she'd already gone. I checked her bedroom, but it was locked.
Was Fifi not in there?
No idea. She keeps her door locked either way. So I went back upstairs and out into the
Grande
moonlight
Jardim do Luar.
What?
garden, the little garden on the roof outside my room.
Was it just you up there?
No, Fitz came outside after a while.
Ah, então eles se encontram no meio do jardim porque eles são namorados.
So, did you talk to him?
Not really.
You ignored each other.
I didn't say that.
Onde vocês estavam ontem à
Fitz
noite?
and I were up in the moonlight garden most of the afternoon. Then we heard this sound. Lasted about 3 seconds. I've been trying to decide how to describe it, but I'm struggling. It was like something drilling into a piece of metal, but different. Worse. I was
O
pretty
que eles
sure
ficaram
it was coming from
fazendo?
Flora's
Ah,
town.
nheco-nheco, né, mano? Nheco-nheco do malvadão.
Nobody was
Taca,
answering.
taca, numa
I knew
pressão.
Freya and Flora were both supposed to be in there.
Nheco do
So I made Fitz kick
malvadão.
down the door. I went
Uou.
inside. Freya was lying on the floor.
Aí chegou o resto da galera, né? Pode crer.
Flora was in the room too?
Yeah. I think she realized what had happened at the same moment I did. I didn't know what to do. So I ran downstairs to get Fifi. Her door was still locked, but I knocked and shouted at her. Eventually she let me in. The lights were off.
Lembrando que um dos caras ali tinha visto a Penélope descer, né? Pop,
I
quer
told
dizer.
her what had happened. She didn't believe me. She got angry. First time I've ever seen her angry. I dragged her out into the hall. My father was there too, for some reason. The three of us went back up to Flora's tower. Then Felix arrived. He had Penny with him. Fifi had this idea. She wanted to do some kind of scientific test. She took me down to the library. We were in there about 15 minutes.
E o que ela fez?
After she was done, she went back upstairs and I went back to my room.
That's it?
That's it.
O que você acha sobre o Fitz?
Softly does the flower grow, all in time, and time is slow. Rest a seed within the earth, but do not rush its gentle birth. Hour by hour, day by day, tune your heart to nature's way.
Que? O que você tem a me dizer sobre essa pazinha decorada?
Is that a gardening trowel?
Yeah, I think it belongs to Fitz.
Really? Never seen him use it.
PP é, por um acaso, quem, hein? Pedro Pettigrew? Pato Pateta? É Pop, qual que é o nome dela? Pop não sei das quantas?
That's me. I'm on a list of murder suspects. Always thought that would be kind of cool, but it's just tedious.
Falls a little short, doesn't it?
Nhaco do malvadão, tchac numa pressão. E você sabe sobre o passarinho?
That belongs to Flora, I think.
Ah não, é a Penélope que entende de passarinho, né? Ela entende de quê? De música, né? E o que é isso aqui, hein?
It was my mother's originally.
Ah.
So, why is it up in Flora's room?
She just gets the most use out of it. Freya would borrow it too sometimes.
E o que é essa fita rachada
Does
aqui, hein?
this belong to you, Poppy?
Now that's not really my style, is it?
But who else would own a tape like this?
Literally anybody?
Porra, mano, grossa do caralho. E essa fita aqui, hein?
This is mine.
Really?
No, well, yes, it was. I gave it to Freya about a year ago.
What was on
Freya
it?
foi a que morreu, né?
Nothing. It was blank. Freya said she wanted to record something.
Any idea how it ended up underwater?
Maybe someone wanted to destroy it, but got really lazy.
Então ela deu pra Freya pra ela gravar um bagulho. E essa corneta aí?
Look at me. I didn't break it.
Does anybody else use the music room?
Yes. I don't know who, but I can tell when somebody else has touched the piano.
Então mais alguém esteve aqui sem o seu consentimento. É isso que você tá me dizendo, sua safada. Tá bom.
All right. Poppy's bedroom is unlocked.
I wonder what's in there.
Vamos lá ver o quarto dela. Boa tarde, quarto da Pop. Temos aqui um piano.
Sheet music.
It's only a few notes. I'd barely even call that music.
Yeah, it's been framed though. Must be important for some reason.
O que é isso? Partitura. A partitura foi moldurada e está decorada com ilustrações delicadas e antiquadas. Aham.
There's a name for this kind of piano.
Piano de cauda.
These ones that stand upright?
Piano de pé. Não? Nossa, mano, que cama louca, cara.
That is the bed of a vampire.
I thought vampires slept in coffins.
This is a vampire who needs firm support for their lower back. Anything in the wardrobe?
Dresses mostly. I never realized there are so many shades of black.
50 tons de preto. Isso aqui no chão é o quê?
Ah, yes, a giant symbol drawn in chalk on the floor. Always a good omen.
It's an eye.
Mano, é um olho também tem lá na torre, lá em cima, lá. Não?
Various handmade posters.
What do you think those symbols mean?
Hopefully, nothing.
E esse bagulho
It's
girando
a
aí?
metronome for keeping time.
Metrônomo. Vamos olhar o metrônomo.
It's ticking.
Ah, mano, parece ser muito difícil.
It's supposed to be ticking. Not sure what those symbols are, though.
Use os botões para rodar as maçanetas do metrônomo até o aro no topo. que eu tenho que montar? Calma.
I did it. What do I win?
Uai, não entendi. Era isso?
Not bad.
Oxi.
What happened?
A little hatch unlocked in the back.
Era só juntar tudo? Oxi.
Anything in there?
Achei que eu ia ter que montar alguma parada.
It's a photograph. Part of a photograph.
Opa, e aí, véi? Beleza? Foto rasgada. A foto rasgada mostra uma jovem de cabelos loiros e roupas rosa. A menina da foto está usando um toca-fitas rosa com fone de ouvido combinando. O resto da foto mostra Fifi e Freya. Estava escondido no quarto de Freya. Quem é essa mulher? E por que ela tem o outro pedaço da foto? Será que é a Pop antes de ficar gótica?
There's something about that pink cassette tape. Something suspicious.
Let's ask Poppy about it.
Vamos. Tem alguma coisa suspeita, hein? E aí, cuzão? Você é suspeita! Você tá na corda bamba! Fica quietinha!
I don't know what that is.
Weird, considering we found it hidden in your room.
Well, my room is full of junk. There's probably a bunch of stuff hidden in there. I don't mean like... Please stop talking to me.
Ah, mano, aí você não tá se ajudando também, né? E essa partitura aí?
It's mine.
Qual música que é? Sweet Child O' Mine's? Será que você pode tocar essa música pra gente?
Can you play the tune for us?
Sure. It's literally 8 notes.
8
I have it
notas.
memorized. Yeah, it's mine.
O que tem de especial nisso?
What's so special about it?
I got it from my teacher. It's the first piece I ever learned.
How long have you been playing?
Since the day I turned 6. Family tradition. I was really excited to start learning. As soon as I got out of my first lesson, I told Freya and Fifi all about it. When I arrived at my second lesson the next day, Freya was there too. She hadn't asked permission, just showed up.
Ô, louco, tá com ciúminho?
The teacher taught us both.
Was Freya any good?
She would have been even better than me, if she'd stuck with it. But one day, she just stopped coming to lessons.
Why?
Ah, lógico, você ficava fazendo bullying com ela,
That's no
caralho.
reason.
Ficou com ciúminho dela ir tocar
That's
piano
when I
também.
realized things were different for her.
Hã? Deixa quieto. Você tá na corda bamba, você é suspeita.
I need to confirm something with you, Poppy.
Confirm away.
What can you tell us about
Suspeita,
this cassette tape?
suspeita.
Is it yours?
It belongs to Freya. She liked to have music playing while she was painting.
Mas você que tava ouvindo
Do
lá
you know
naquela
what kind
foto,
of
hein?
music is on this tape?
No idea. Acid jazz?
It's piano music. Sounds an awful lot like your music, to be honest.
Sure it doesn't belong to you?
Why are we even talking about this? Cassette tapes have been redundant for a good few years now.
Rolou um
The tape was found
assassinato,
at the crime
mulher.
scene. It was in the gramophone.
It's not mine. I'd never own anything like that.
Why not?
Not my color.
Você não era gótica desde sempre. Você costumava gostar dessas cores. É.
You used to like these colors.
A gente viu na
We
foto,
need a clue to
só.
compare with the cassette tape. Something that proves Poppy used to like these colors.
Eu sei o que é, cara. Aqui, ó, nos peitos do seu pai. Olha ela aí, ó. Claramente.
Let's take a closer look at this.
Ó. Qual a conexão entre essas duas pistas? Tem que ter alguma conexão, né? É, aqui, ó. O toca-fita rosa e a fita cassete rosa. Ó, a fita cassete rosa encontrada na cena do crime combina com o toca-fitas rosa, usado pela Fifi, que foi encontrado no quarto da Pop, usado pela Pop nessa foto antiga. É isso.
The pink cassette tape found at the crime
tomar no
scene
cu,
matches the pink cassette player
Respeita seu
used
pai.
by Poppy in this
Respeita o
old
seu pai.
photo.
That is not me.
Como
Yeah, it is.
não?
I'll prove it.
Como que você vai provar? Como que vai provar? Me fudeu, como é que vai provar agora, cara? Como que vai provar? Aqui, ó.
You look a little different, but Fifi and Freya are pretty recognizable. It's clearly a photo of you with your two best friends.
Provei?
Why'd you tear it up? And then hide it?
I think the answer is pretty straightforward.
A foto prova que a Pop é assassina. Pop não quer mais ter essa aparência. Pop odeia Fifi e Freya agora. Não, ela não quer mais ter essa aparência, eu acho.
Poppy doesn't want to look like that anymore.
That's it. Makes this whole thing seem kind of irrelevant.
Ah, é? Foi mal.
Maybe. It depends on the reason.
The reason she doesn't want to look like that anymore?
The passage of time is a powerful.
Olha, ela abriu a boca.
Hold on. This means that pink cassette tape does belong to you, Poppy.
It used to. I recorded some piano music onto it and gave it to
Agora
Freya.
você tá abrindo a boca, né, sua desgraçada?
Freya could have easily been listening to this tape at the exact moment she was killed. There's gotta be a connection between the tape, the gramophone, and the murder.
There's one other thing I want to know. How did it get that crack down the middle?
I have no idea.
Ah, mano, vamos aí. Fala aí. Já viu que a gente vai descobrir tudo. Você é suspeita. Deixa eu voltar lá no quarto dela. Deixa eu ver essa
A
fechadura
big
aqui.
glass door leads out into a garden.
There's a little mechanism.
Nothing.
All
Still.
four tiles have a moon symbol.
Those other symbols
I
look
think
like
it is.
Como assim, cara? Ó, tem sol aqui. Sol aqui, ó. Um pau. É um pau. Aqui, ó. Um pau. Deixa eu ir até lá do outro lado
I guess
agora.
we'll come back later.
Vamos lá no outro lado. Aí a gente coloca um pau de sol e depois a gente faz... Não,
We already solved it.
não.
it's
Que?
locked.
I
We
thought
are.
something.
Um pau de sol. É aqui assim? Tan, 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 tan. Esquerda, direita, esquerda, direita.
It made a noise.
I guess that was right. And the door's still locked.
I still feel like we made some sort of progress.
Fila da puta. Não, mas relaxa, relaxa. Daí do outro lado aqui, ó. Esquerda, direita, esquerda, direita.
A big glass leads out into
There's a little mechanism.
Aí vem aqui, esquerda, direita. Vambora.
something happened.
That must be it. Finally, it's open.
Whatever's on the other side better be worth it.
Eu não consigo parar de jogar esse jogo. Já tá tarde pra caralho. Eu vou parar. Eu vou parar agora. Eu vou parar é agora. Como que salva? O que é isso aqui? É dica? Não! Não sei quem é Félix. Sorte a minha. Ai, ai. Já salvou? Auto-salvar ligado. Tá bom, então salvou já. Não dá pra salvar, tem que terminar teu pai. Só mais um tiquinho. Não, já tá tarde, cara. Tem algumas coisas pra fazer ainda.